Hi everyone, and hi Amog sir, welcome on board.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's lovely having Professor Amog on board. Amog sir has worked in corporate, he's worked with Dell, and he's an associate professor at Washington University. Today we're going to talk about computer science engineering, computer science, IT, information technology, or AI, ML, ये सब क्या चीजें हैं, and people are aiming to get into admissions into computer science also. आप लोगों के लिए video होने वाला because we got an expert to talk to us. Welcome sir, welcome again.
Thank you, sir.
क्या बात है sir? And sir, you worked in Dell, so were you a developer there? Then you thought
Yes.
about okay.
Yes, I was a Java developer there. I was working as a Java developer, and basically I used to create an application for a client in US. It was a medical field where we created a billing system for that particular hospital there.
Okay,
that is what I used to work on.
Excellent, sir. So amazing, sir. You've seen the life of a typical software engineer. Now you're teaching. He's an MTech also in computer science. How cool is that, sir? The first question, what people, why we doing this video for people who are 12? You know, हम लोग confused हो जाते हैं कि computer science करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए. Friends are doing computer science. Should we do it? आगे जाके scope क्या है? My first question is going to be, what are the career opportunities? What kind of roles people get? I know Dell came to Washington University. We were talking about that. Microsoft came to the university as well. So what kind of roles student can expect after they finish their engineering as well?
Yeah, there are a lot of roles, especially when you talk about computer science and engineering. It's a vast subject. So we have something called as a software developer. Normally people, whenever they say computer science, they associate themselves with, programming. So software developer is one of them, which deals with programming. Then you have computer network architect. So if you want to get into computer networks, so they deal with networking. So the companies like, Cisco, Ericsson, these are the companies which deal with computer networks. So you can become a computer network architect. You can become a computer system analyst. You can also become a database administrator. Now, database is also a very big, profile that you can have nowadays, where, a lot of data is there in the world, and how to, how to store the data, how to use the data. So this data administrator will take care of all these things. So that is also an option there. Then you have an information security analyst. So to make sure what are the vulnerabilities within the company, risk assessment, you should be assessing the risks within the company. What kind of attacks?
Cybersecurities of the world, which is picking up like crazy.
Correct. So that is another, opportunity you have. Then you have a full stack developer. You can become a full stack developer in the sense where, you can design a website, you can, build a website, and, the complete life cycle of creating a product is nothing but a full stack developer. And then you have a blockchain developer. You can become a blockchain. Nowadays, cryptocurrency is very common. I mean, everywhere in the world you hear about this cryptocurrency.
I'm losing money every day, but but that's the big wave. That's
Same here, Rahul. Actually, I mean, I also put in some money, and I had also, some losses in this cryptocurrency.
Right, but I've cashed out right now, so I've changed my strategy of doing a crypto. We'll do another video of that, maybe how to invest and how not to make losses. Now I've understood how not to make losses in the crypto. We'll speak about that. Great. So in this video, boys and girls, first we talk about the career opportunities, then we'll talk about what kind of technologies you need to learn, and towards then we'll talk about how Voxel is going to be preparing, because abhi kya hai, it's no longer a typical computer science engineering. Like mere time pe, you go to NIT Surathkal, get a computer science degree. You go to IIT Bombay, you get a computer science degree. There are various variations of computer science also coming in. Wo sir se uske bare mein baat karenge. So my number 2 point is on the technology front. So what kind of technologies a student of this generation who is like in 12th standard, they're aiming to get into computer science, and some of them want to go to IITs, NITs, some of them will be your students at Voxen as well. Kaun si technologies pe we should keep a pulse on right now?
Yeah, right now the latest trend, if you ask me, it will be artificial intelligence for sure, because everything is becoming more smart nowadays. So we have computers, and we are making those computers much more smarter using AI. So you say self-driving cars, you take maybe in your ISRO or NASA space industries, you take medical industry. In almost all the industries that you see nowadays, artificial intelligence is an important topic that every student should know. And apart from that, we can there's something called as data science. So there is so much data when you talk about Facebook, when you talk about social media sites such as Instagram. There is so much data that is there, provided each of the users who basically give so much data to the company. What do we do with that data? There's a lot of data that is available, and we need to get some meaning out of that data. So data science is the field for that. So you need to know what is data science. Then you have Internet of Things. Almost all the gadgets now use internet. So Internet of Things is definitely a important technology to learn. The reason is because, for example, you can take a fridge. There is a company which is producing a fridge where if one of the racks, if there is vegetables which is finished, it will automatically give a call to the nearest shop, and the shop will actually deliver all the vegetables which is required. That basically works on IoT, Internet of Things, right?
Great.
So it's a very important technology to learn nowadays.
Yeah.
Apart from that,
it's like putting a brain to an existing refrigeration system, or even a fan for that matter. Alexa is also actually playing a good role on Internet of Things right now. I'm a big fan of Alexa, by the way. Great. So Internet of Things, that's lovely. Data scientist. I mean, I was listening to Ambani ji the other day, and he was talking about data is the new oil. Data is the new oil. If you can get data, life is going to be really, really amazing. Great, sir. What else? What else need to be abreast of?
Apart from that, we have something called as robotic process automation. Nowadays you see that you go to you call maybe a bank, for example HDFC for that matter. So when you call HDFC, there will not be a telecaller who will be picking your call as soon as you call. There will be an automated system which will ask you a few questions to answer your query. Once it is if it is answered by the automated system, then you are done. Only after certain steps of the automated system, then you will be able to actually connect to the telecaller. So this robotic process automation basically deals with automating things to make life easy, right? So it reduces the cost for the companies. So because you are automating things. And one of the most interesting things I can tell you is in US there's Amazon. Warehouses are not nowadays using robots within the warehouse. So normally what happens is if someone gives an order, normally a person will go to the rack, pick up that particular item and deliver it to wherever it is supposed to go, ship it to wherever it's supposed to go. But nowadays they are using robots where autonomously they will move around within that warehouse of Amazon. And as soon as the order is given, it will go to the rack and deliver it to the location it's supposed to be delivered. And that is the reason one interesting thing in US is if you give a delivery, if you order some item, within 1 hour they'll deliver to your home.
Wow.
That is because of this robotic automation.
Excellent. This is so amazing. It reminds me of my US days. So I was in US in a place called Detroit. Detroit is famous for cars and all the big fours, Daimler, Chrysler, they're all, Ford was there. And in the same hotel where I was staying, so they were all like around 20, 30 people who were staying in the same hotel. So I was just chit-chatting with them. They were telling me like, we're going to lose our jobs. This is way back in 2016, 17. We're going to lose our jobs. I said, why? Because the vision of Ford is to have only one employee in the entire factory from 10,000 employees. And this guy's job is going to be just switching on the robots and switching off the robots. That's it. That's it. And how the automation is actually bringing. And people think people are going to start losing the jobs. That's not exactly true. More automation happens, more jobs are created, more factories are also built in, and things become faster, right, sir?
Yeah. The life is much easier.
Yeah. Right.
And
go ahead, please.
Yeah, one last thing is virtual reality. Virtual reality or augmented reality for that matter, they are one of the best technologies right now, especially if you talk about in military. US military is already using augmented reality goggles. So basically they train their military by creating virtual scenarios where they can fight with the enemy without actually going on to the battlefield, right? So this is one of the hot technologies right now in the market also.
It's hot from a long time, sir. Way back in 2005, I did a project with DRDO, which was on virtual reality in the mining industry. So, people were laughing about it. You need not go inside the mine. You can just wear the goggles and you can practice it up. And it saves a lot of training time and accident as well. That was my project in way back 2005. And now it's like all over the place. That's so amazing. That's so amazing. So my next question is about how the computer science engineering from a typical, what we spoke in the start as well, what are the different variations? And at Voxen also you have different variations. What are the top 2-3 variations what we have in the at Voxen University?
See, the thing is at Voxen we do have something called as artificial intelligence and data science, which is a very important technology nowadays for every student to have. So we have for that we have something called as AI and robotics lab. right? So we have about 20 plus robots, including humanoids, which are created within the lab by the students and lab engineers. So,
Nice.
and we have also tied up with a company called Darwin group of companies. So they are actually giving us consultancy projects on which we are encouraging our students to actually get into the projects and do projects for them. And, professors as well as lab engineers will be guiding them on that.
Excellent. So
So
number
that
one
is,
is automation and robotics, which they actually choose, which we spoke about
yeah,
in one of the career technologies. Great.
correct.
What else, sir? What else? What's number two?
We have something called as data analytics lab. So whenever you talk about data science, we need computers which have a very good configuration, such as, for example, you need i9 processors, you need a huge RAM, random access memory. So for all this, we have a lab called data analytics lab. It's all Mac computers that we have. So whenever you talk about data analysis, there's a huge amount of data. So when you have a huge amount of data, then we need systems which can handle such data. So
Right.
this is a very unique lab that we have at Watson. It's a world-class lab where we have, all Mac computers, where each student will get their own computer to work on.
Great, great. So amazing. So number two is on the data science. Data is the
Yeah,
new oil. This is lovely. What's number
yeah.
three, sir? What's number three specialization?
We have something called as Internet of Things lab, IoT lab.
Okay.
So where basically we have a lot of gadgets
Right.
where we encourage students to work on which are connected to internet,
Right.
and it's a really great opportunity for all the students to get into this field also.
Excellent, excellent. And when we talk about the specialization, they're primarily three, right? Computer
Yeah,
science, engineering, data science, and automation and robotics, right?
correct, correct.
Excellent. What do they do in the I would say the vanilla computer science engineering right now?
See, I'm sorry, I did not get your question.
Yeah, so I'm saying, what do they do in, like, there are three different fields, right? You can
Yeah,
choose actually. So what do
yeah.
they do in the computer science engineering branch only, like the
Okay,
computer
so
science?
yeah, so when you talk about computer science engineering branch, they learn basics of computers. They learn different programming languages. They learn about algorithms. They learn about computer networks. They learn about database management, and these are some of the things that they learn as part of computer science.
There's more of a software side, I would say, rather than the
Yes,
hardware side. Other things
correct.
get into either the data science field or the automation. This
Yeah,
is so
yeah,
amazing, sir.
yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
any parting thoughts to these aspiring computer science geeks? I mean, you've done your MTech, you've lived your life. He comes from PESIT Bangalore, which is amazing business school, amazing
Yeah,
engineering school. Now the teacher as well, and I know your days from US as well. Sir, you
yeah,
stayed in US. So what are your parting thoughts to all these budding computer science geeks? They also want to kill it and get into these Amazons and
yeah,
Flipkarts and
yeah.
product management roles of the world.
Yeah, the main thing that I thank you for asking me this. The main thing I can tell you for all the students is that you need some skill sets. Whenever you want to get into a IT company, it is not just what you learn, in your theory books. Apart from theory, what you learn in the books, you need a lot of practical exposure. And we at Watson University try to give a lot of practical exposure for our students, for which we have something called as Tech Talk. We conduct every month. We call technical experts from different companies who come and give a talk at the university based on whatever they are experts in. Recently, we had Mrs. Deepa Priya. She is a cybersecurity expert in Australia. She works in Greenstone Financial Services. She gave a talk on cybersecurity threats and remediations for them. And we had a vice president of Ericsson recently also. He talked about what are the different skill sets required for you to get into an IT company nowadays. And the fundamental thing he said is he talked about data science and artificial intelligence, and you should know the fundamentals of computer science. So your basics need to be strong. So that is what he told about. So we do a lot of these kind of competitions. We have tech quizzes. We have a brainstorming competition. So whenever you go into a software job, the very first thing you do for any project is you do a brainstorming. So we teach our students to how to brainstorm in a
Great.
group.
So
We have
it's so if you want to get into the computer science graduate degree, so it's more of the holistic picture about things, getting your basics foundation side, knowing the business side of it, like cybersecurity ka use kya hone wala in the day-to-day life, and brainstorm with other students as well. So keep your eyes, ears open, and get to the tech, get to the coding stream, and get going. That's going to be really amazing. So
Yes.
people are listening to us, boys and girls. If you're getting into computer science, I've worked in IT company for 5 good years. I was in General Electric doing the same stuff. Sir has worked in Dell. ये जब हम बातें करते हैं, it's not only our experience. Like sir gave an example of Ericsson, of that lady from US, Singapore, I think Australia, right?
Australia, yeah.
Or lady from Australia talking about cyber security. तो ये सबका experience होता है. तो भाई इनकी बातें सुन लेनी चाहिए. It's going to be really, really helpful. Sir, this is so amazing. People who are getting into computer science degree to any of the colleges, you guys can comment in below. And if you guys want to do more videos, I'll be more than happy. And if you want us to review your profile as well, type in your 10th and 12th scores. I'll be more than happy to check your answers and whether you're fit for the computer science graduate or a degree or not. And Amok sir, I'll request you to keep coming back to our channel and और थोड़ा ज्ञान देते जाइएगा बच्चों को.
Absolutely, absolutely, sir.
This is so amazing. Lovely having you on board, sir. Thank you so much and have a good day ahead. Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, sir. Lovely meeting you. Take care, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you.